Sing 2 is the latest film from Illumination Animation, so now I'm going to rank all 11 films from Illumination from the worst to the best. Coming in last place at number 11 is Hop. Though, personally, I don't even think it should be on this list because it's not even fully animated, but it technically has to be. Almost everything about this movie is just cringy. The acting is mediocre at best, the writing is atrocious, almost none of the jokes work. The only praise I have for this movie is David Hasselhoff. The pink berets being kind of a fun idea, and the chickens wanting to take over Easter and staging a coup was fun, but most of this movie is just awful. Number 10, Sing 2. It's such an odd mesh of ideas. Let's do a talking animal jukebox musical, but also do a U2 tribute film. It's such a niche idea, and I don't really know who the audience for this was outside of the director's family. And the story just kind of repeats the same beats as the first one, yet somehow isn't as endearing as the first one. Number 9, The Lorax. The animation in this movie is fantastic. They did a great job of bringing the world of Dr. Seuss to life. Danny DeVito was a perfect choice to voice the Lorax, but the movie is heavy-handed and it has a few too many subplots going on at times. Number 8, Minions. I get why people hate this movie, I really do, but I was still entertained. I actually think Sandra Bullock and John Hamm are really fun in this movie. They did a great job of capturing the 1970s aesthetic or 1960s aesthetic, whenever this movie takes place. Even though the Minions can get a bit old at times, I'm still entertained by this movie. Number 7, Sing. There's really no reason for these characters to be animals. It has no relevance to the plot. It's just American Idol with animals, and everything about it is just kind of okay. The characters are not that memorable, the plot is pretty paint by numbers. It's perfectly watchable, but it's nothing groundbreaking. Number 6, Secret Life of Pets. While I enjoyed this movie, it does feel a bit too much like Toy Story, but with animals. I still find it entertaining, especially Kevin Hart, who absolutely steals the show. It's just a pretty safe movie overall, though. Number 5, Secret Life of Pets 2. This one I enjoyed a bit more, but its greatest strength is at the same time also its greatest weakness. My criticism of the first film was it should have just been an anthology of pets doing funny things, and this film does that, but it also makes the film feel a bit episodic. But Harrison Ford, brief as his role is in this film, is a delight, and this actually had a bit more heart than the first film. No pun intended. Number 4, Despicable Me 2. Most of this film is very solid. It feels like a natural continuation of the first film. It's hilarious, has great new characters. Gru and Lucy have great chemistry together, and overall it's a very sweet movie, but it overuses the Minions. They get old in this film very quickly. Number 3, The Grinch from 2018. The animation in this movie is just gorgeous. Benedict Cumberbatch is great as the Grinch. There's a lot of really sharp visual gags, but the Grinch isn't mean enough in this version for my liking. He just comes off as a mild grouch, not super villainous or conniving like the original. Number 2, Despicable Me 3. They learned from the mistakes of the second film. They learned that people like the Minions, but they like them in moderation. And as a result, this is a huge step above the second film because the Minions are used in moderation. It has a great plot and probably the best villain in all of the Despicable Me movies, who actually has a really good setup and really fun backstory. But I feel like the villain wasn't explored enough. They didn't go as far with him as they could have. I feel the subplot of Agnes trying to find a unicorn was unnecessary when that time could have been used to do some really fun stuff with the villain. But coming at number 1 is Despicable Me. Illumination's first film is still their best. A fun spy and heist movie with a lot of heart, a lot of humor, and very well-developed characters. The Minions work very well as the comic relief because they're used in moderation, and overall, this is a very emotional, clever, well-made, funny film. So go ahead and share a ranking of the Illumination movies, and I will see you next time.